Update. Am I wrong for leaving my girlfriend in a bar after I found out she spoke to her ex and didn't tell me? Original post. For context, my girlfriend, 22 female, always says that her ex traumatized her and left her with a lot of trust issues because of his infidelity and the way she found out. He had been sleeping with multiple other people, and she only found out when one of the girls reached out to her. He then ended up in a relationship with the girl who had reached out to her the day after they broke up. Because of this, I've had to deal with a lot of trust issues. We haven't had sex despite being together for 5 months, as she wants to know I'm not just with her for that, and wants to be really careful about who she sleeps with. I have also willingly let her go through my phone multiple times just to reassure her. Sometimes she doesn't even ask. I just off her when I can tell she's worrying, because I have nothing to hide and I want her to feel secure. Now to the story. I, 21 male, was out at a bar with my girlfriend, and we were having a good time. We were mid-conversation when, out of nowhere, she got all weird and distracted. I asked her what was wrong, and she said her ex had just walked in. I asked her if she wanted to leave. She said no. She wanted to see what he was doing in the area as he was alone and lives about 30 miles away from here. He stood at the bar, and we watched him for a few minutes. I was about to ask her if we could stop watching him when a girl walked in, went up to him, and they hugged and ordered drinks. They then linked arms and walked to a table around the corner. My girlfriend looked distraught, like she was going to start crying. I asked if she was okay or if she was getting triggered, and she said she was fine. I asked if that was one of the girls he cheated with, and she said it wasn't. We sat there and it was awkward for about 5 minutes. Then my girlfriend said she wanted to go and talk to him. I said there was no point and to leave the past in the past. She just kept saying I didn't understand. I got a bit frustrated and asked what there was to understand, and she got angry and went on a rant about how he's full of it, etc., etc. I was like, yeah, well, you knew that. And then she said, well, he was saying he only wanted me and all this stuff, and here he is with someone else. I was confused and said that she couldn't expect him to stay single forever after their breakup, and even she had moved on. That's when she said he was saying this to her earlier that week. This felt like a gut punch, and I asked what the heck she meant. She told me that he had messaged her on Instagram, asking for another chance, but she said no. I asked why she didn't tell me, and she said because she said no, and it wasn't important. I asked to see the messages, and she said no, and started going on about privacy, etc. I reminded her that she has gone through my phone multiple times, and that I wanted to see. She said no again. I said if she didn't show me, I'd assume the worst, and she reluctantly gave me her phone. I read their messages, and it was sort of like she said, except they were talking for hours over the course of 3 days, and even had 2 phone calls, each over half an hour long. He told her that he broke up with the girl he had cheated with because he wanted her back. She kept saying no, that it was too late and that she had a boyfriend, but for some reason the conversation didn't end. They just went on and on. He was telling her about how he left his toxic job, where the girls always spoke badly about her, how he cut off all his friends who said she was no good for him, etc. She kept saying she didn't believe him and that she couldn't trust him. The last few messages were about one of the calls, which was a 37-minute call over Instagram. After that call, he said, "I'll leave you alone now. It was so nice hearing your voice again, and I want you to know I'm serious. I don't want anyone but you. I understand you're not in a place where you want to try again right now, but just know I'll wait as long as it takes. If you need anything, just call me." She just replied saying, "Thank you." I screenshotted the convo and sent it to myself because I wanted to go back over it when I wasn't drunk. I asked my girlfriend why she didn't tell me, and she just said again that it wasn't a big deal. I said it seems like a big deal, considering they were talking for hours and having long phone calls. She said she was just seeking closure and finally standing up for herself, as she didn't get to in the relationship. I asked why the conversation had to span multiple days and hours, and she said because there was a lot to talk about. I asked what was said on the phone calls, and she said just the same as the texts. She said, "There's no way you're mad about this," and I just got up and walked off. She didn't follow me. She just let me go. I called an Uber home and left her at the bar. She blew up at me for abandoning her and said she thought I just needed to cool off. We've been arguing since the weekend about this. She says it's unsafe and reckless to leave a girl drunk alone in a bar at night and that I'm overreacting. I say she lied to me, and she says she didn't lie. She just didn't think I'd care. Am I wrong here? Now for the top comments before reading the update. I mean, it is unsafe to leave a girl alone and drunk at a bar. That being said, everything else that she's done is so freaking wildly problematic. I normally don't suggest the nuclear option, but she's been such an incredible hypocrite, and she's gaslighting you. Yuck. Run. She was only like a 15-minute walk from her house, and her sister was picking us up anyway, so I knew she would have a ride home. She still is attached to her ex. You literally did the right thing. She has issues and isn't going to be a safe partner for anyone in the near future. Just let her be. The fact that she got bothered that he didn't want just her says you were coming in second. And no, their long talks were not closure. She's blowing smoke up your behind. Honestly, she was probably damn near going back to him during those chats. I don't get why she just wouldn't go back to him though. The whole thing is messing with my head. Like on one hand, I think if she wanted him, she could have just gone back, as he was asking for like 3 days. But on the other hand, I think, why were they talking for 3 days? She was probably stuck between yes and no, and kept going back and forth. She knew he sucked as a cheating boyfriend, but she still has an emotional attachment to him, and those two realities crashed. Her reaction when she saw that other gal with him tells you that she's still attached to him, and she was bothered because she sort of believed him. Or wanted to, but her rational brain knew otherwise. At the end of the day, she was conflicted, but you almost lost her to him. Until she actually gets over him, she isn't worth investing in. She did hide the fact that they were talking, and her excuse is pure BS. She knew it was wrong. You're not wrong, and she didn't tell you about him contacting her and them talking, because she knew she was in the wrong, and possibly because you would not be happy about her keeping contact with him and preventing them talking more. She's not ready for a new relationship. That's what I said, but she said she didn't think I'd care cause I don't have trust issues. Well, I do now. Now for the update. So this morning, I woke up early and couldn't get back to sleep. Today is my girlfriend's day off, and I asked her to come see me as soon as she woke up. She said no. I said if she didn't, we'd have to end things. She got here around 9 a.m. I asked for her phone, and this almost started another argument. I think she could see my lack of sleep and genuine attitude of defeat, and just rolled her eyes and handed it to me. She is still talking to him. She texted him that night, saying she saw him and calling him a liar. He said he was just with people from his new job and sent back a picture of him with a big group of girls and boys. He assured her he still only wants her. She apologized to him. Funny, no one else came in while I was still there. So he just happened to meet the hot girl from work alone first and drink and sit with just her for at least 45 minutes before anyone else joined them. After she got off the phone with me after our argument that night, she asked if she could call him. 2-hour phone call. Sunday, a 4-hour phone call from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday, a call from 6 to 8 p.m. Then last night, a video call from 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. Which means, while I was typing my post, she was on FaceTime with him for 6 freaking hours. And in between all of this, they were sending each other memes, talking about old dates they went on, a bunch of inside jokes I even don't care to know the reference for, etc. She couldn't even look me in the eye. I said I had a few questions, and she just said, "Is there any point?" I said yes, to me there is. I asked her if she still had feelings for him. She said she didn't think she did, but now she isn't sure. I asked why she didn't just end it with me. Again, she said she didn't want to unless she was sure. I asked if the reason she hadn't slept with me was because she was saving herself for him, something a few of you suggested. And she basically freaking admitted it. She said on some level, it still felt like she was cheating on him. She said her therapist told her that sleeping with anyone before she was absolutely ready would be harmful to her and to them, and that she didn't want to hurt anyone. I told her I can't be with her. She's not ready, certainly not over him, and she lied to me. and I see what she's done is cheating. She just said, okay. She walked into my bathroom and made a phone call. When she came back, I helped her gather the things she had here, and then we sat and waited for her ride. It was awkward. When she went to leave, I tried to hug her goodbye, but she just said, "Please don't touch me," and dodged it. She just looked really defeated. She went outside, and wouldn't you know it, her ex was waiting for her. He took her 2 bags, put them in the boot, and they drove off. I went to message her asking if she was freaking serious, but I was already blocked. You were all right. I'm a freaking idiot and feel like a loser for wasting these last 5 months trying to be patient and kind and understanding, just to get it thrown back in my face. Gonna go try and lie down and get some more sleep. I don't really want to deal with this anymore. Sorry for wasting all of your time. Thanks for the advice, though. Good luck, buddy. It will get better. Thank you. Keep your head up, my guy. 5 months is nothing to a life lesson learned. You've gained much more than you lost. Keep moving forward. OP block her on everything. Once she realizes why they're exes, she'll be back. Unfortunately, some people can't be fixed. Your ex is drawn to toxic relationships, and you couldn't provide that for her. She's a cheater and doesn't deserve your kindness. Doing what she did, calling her ex to pick her up from your place, is probably the best thing for you. You'll never look at her the same way again. Think of all the red flags she displayed during your relationship. She most likely talked about how bad her relationship with her ex was and how wonderful you are, which gave you the need/want to protect her. She played on your good character while waiting for him to break up with his girlfriend so she could jump right back into a crappy one with her selfish, cheating ex. Use this as a learning experience to not accept a girlfriend who isn't as invested in the relationship as you are. I know it's rough, but you dodged a bullet. Go live your best life. I was just about to say the same thing. She's going to try to come back to OP when she realizes the ex hasn't changed at all. She's not right in my opinion. Not about you. You're a victim here. Never try talk to her again. I won't LMAO. Screw her. Last story. Am I the a-hole for throwing my girlfriend out at 2 a.m. after reading her messages to her ex? My 26 male, now ex-girlfriend, 22 female of 3 months, friends for 2 years though, has recently reconnected with her ex. They have been texting as she is seeking closure. For the most part, their conversations have been her asking him about cheating on her and him finally being honest. On Friday, he called her at like 3 a.m., and they were on the phone until 8 a.m. This struck me as very weird, and so I did something I'm not proud of. I snooped on her phone. Only a single message was saved, as well as their last 24 hours worth of messages. Thanks, Snapchat. All messages copied and pasted into my notes, and then here. Sorry for the atrocious writing style. The one saved message was from her to him, and it said, "I don't know what I want, because I don't know if I can trust you as you ain't showing me that I can. I don't want to fall in deep with you again if I'm just gonna get hurt and betrayed and be even more traumatized than I already am. I need to see that you actually are changed, and I'm not gonna go through any of that again, because I even let you slightly back in my life. And again, I'm the one sat here crying, not you. You have some hold and control over me because of how much I let you in, and it freaking hurts having constant reminders of your behavior. Tonight I already know what you're doing, and it makes me physically sick. Since I started talking to you again, I feel like I'm drowning. I have to get so pissed to have fun, to be able to breathe for 2 seconds. Can't freaking eat cause it makes me feel sick. You just don't get it." Then on to the actual crux of my post, the messages from the last day. Him. I don't know how you can get mad at me for being friends with a girl when you have a boyfriend LMFAO. Her. I'm not mad at you being friends. I'm mad cause you act clueless to the fact she wants to bang you. Him. I just don't think she does. Her. Why? Him. Because she calls me when she's drunk all the time, and she's never said anything like that. If a girl likes a guy and she calls him drunk at 3 a.m., then she'd at least make a sexual comment. Her. I called you drunk last night and didn't tell you I wanted to bang you. Him. Exactly. Her. Exactly. So just because a girl is drunk and wants to bang you, doesn't mean she's going to say it. Him, you wanted to bang me? Her, I always want to bang you. You know, since we talk, I haven't had sex with him, so I don't want you sleeping with anyone tonight. Him, I'm single. Her, well, you supposed to be showing me that you actually serious about us, and if I cannot have sex in a relationship, you can do it when single. Him, you don't even like sleeping with him anyway. You literally told me last night I'm the only person who can get you off. Her, that has nothing to do with what I'm saying. And it goes on, but that's the part that's important. Upon reading that, I just lost it. I woke her up and told her to get out. She asked what was going on, but upon seeing her phone in my hand, she just asked if I was serious. I told her I am. She said she didn't have her car, it was raining, and she had no way to get home. I said that wasn't my problem. She said it was unsafe. I again said not my problem. She can get her ex to come pick her up. She said he's been drinking, and I told her I literally do not give a damn. Get the heck out. She asked if she could wait indoors for the Uber, and I lost it. I just screamed at her to get out. She sort of flinched and then just got up, got dressed, and left. I locked the door behind her. I laid there under my blanket trying to sleep for the rest of the night. I didn't check on her. I didn't care. Today I found out from a mutual friend that it took her 2 hours to get a lift, and she was standing in the rain all that time, 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Everyone is saying I'm classless and should have thought of her safety. I don't think I owe her a freaking thing. Am I the a-hole? Info: my flat is above a shop, with the exit to the door leading onto the street. There was no lobby area for her to wait in. Now for the comment. The amount of bad karma coming her way is going to be glorious. Her ex just wants to bang her. Once he gets her, he will ghost her and she will be at a loss. Block her and move on, OP. She's nothing but trash. Yup, she treated OP like a tool to make her ex jealous, and the moment the ex showed the attention, she dropped OP on the side. She'll definitely crawl back to OP once she gets cheated and dumped by her ex the second time. No, bruh. Here's a universal truth. If a woman you are dating ever needs to reach out to an ex for closure, it is not only for closure. You leave immediately. No exceptions.